welcome to Whip Finish Wednesday. It is Wednesday night, um, obviously, because it's Whip Finish Wednesday, and we're ready for a fun night of tying. And yes, swear angler. Now Katie's turning Instagram back on, so we should be getting that going in just a second. Um, but I'll go ahead and say this since I'd said this before. The fly we're going to tie tonight is from a good friend of ours, Gary Barnes. And Gary is on the chat, and it's good to see you on here, Gary. He can tell me, trust me, he will. He doesn't hold back. He can tell me what I'm doing wrong on this. But we actually met Gary in person for the first time at the International Fly Tying Symposium, and he showed us this pattern there, and we just I really liked the pattern. Really wanted to fish it and tie it. And when we were talking with him last week, he was like, "Why don't you go and tie my pattern?" And I was like, "That's great, because right now is if you could see what Katie's doing and everything, yeah, don't forget the wire trimming. That is right. If you can see what Katie's doing, we need flies that are very versatile, awesome flies. But number one, they're simple to tie because we've got so much distraction going on right now. So with that said, guys, feel free to ask any questions you've got. If you've got a funny thing or you want to ask Gary a question, he's on here as well. If I do something wrong, point it out. We're here to, number one, have fun, and number two, we're going to hopefully learn a thing or two. But I know I've got a stack of these Salvation ants right here. I try to pick a bunch of them up, but I've got a stack of these here. See, those look huge right there. And I'm looking forward to get them on. So speaking of symposium, we see there right now, Katie and I are not planning on going to the symposium this year. We're thinking about going to Edison, but with the kids' schedule, it's just not right now looking so hot. But who knows? Right now, that'll be the first symposium we missed in about 5 years. But you never know. It is possible. So as far as materials for this fly, I'm going to be using the Umpqua X series size 14, the 400. Let's see if I can switch this around. Yeah. I'm going to use this hook right here. So Umpqua XC400. It's a jig hook. It's in a size. We're tying in a size 14 and size 16. The symposium is in New Jersey. It was in Parsippany last year, and it's going to be right around there this year. They changed venues again this year to where it was originally. I can't remember. Not Lancaster. So it's in New Jersey. So the hook we're using is the size 14 or 16 Umpqua XC400 jig hook. We're going to be using tungsten slotted beads in size 2.5 millimeter and 3 millimeter. I might just use 2.5 millimeter because I tied a bunch of size with a 3 millimeter last year. Thanks for the question, Joel. As far as wire, I'm using different colors of wire. This is the 0.2 millimeter Semperfly tying wire. And it comes in a bunch of different colors. And I've got copper out right now, red, and might do a bright one in silver. Who knows? And then thread is the ADOT Semperfly Classic Wax Thread. And finally, the Gulf Classic Resin, UV resin. So if you're watching on Instagram, I would highly suggest looking over at YouTube because the quality is quite a bit better. And we'll get this fly out of the vise and get to tying. So here's the size 14 version of what we're going to tie tonight. I'll flip this up because I do feel like it's a little bit easier to see. And I'll put that back in there and do a little rotation. You can see the wire and how shiny and purdy it is. Somerset, New Jersey. That's right. Multicolor. Yep. So Gary likes the multiple. He sent me a slew of colors to choose from. Here's a black one with red wire. And as far as hackles, Let me switch back over to this one, I think. Yeah, as far as hackles, I really wanted to use this is one that I got from Charlie Craven. This is it's a whiting cape that or saddle that is dragon's blood. So it's one of Charlie's dyed creations. Unfortunately, that one was a little bit too big. So I've got a Cochin brown that works great, really a really dark brown here. Any place to meet John and Katie? Yes, Mike. Sure is. That's what I was saying. We might do Edison. The problem with doing Edison is we really like going to Atlanta, and Atlanta's right after Edison, so we kind of have to choose one of the two. This is just a variant that had a lot of Cree in it, but it's got more, just kind of odd feathers, and that's where I found one of these feathers that was just really dark, and it was one like this right here, and it's just really dark. It's got like some speckling of brown in it, but I really like that one. So good use for some of your odd colors. And here's another variant of a different size. So just kind of a blackish, dark brownish. But feel free. Thank you, Michael. There are pretty saddles, but sometimes the variants can be tough because sometimes you just need grizzly and you seem like a plain color. But Gary will probably say any color will work. Just use dun if you want to use whatever. So like I said, I'm taking a Umpqua XC400 in the size 14 out of the package here, and we're going to switch this over to the big camera or to the close-up one, and we'll get a black 2.5. We'll go 3. What the hey? We'll leave it on the edge. Make this one kind of chunky. So I'm going to do black 3mm tungsten slotted bead, and we'll stick it in the vise. So one of the things when I was trying to figure out how I was going to tie this fly, feathers too. He likes it. Yeah, absolutely will. Michael, that might be a bit of a shipping, but I'm happy to send out some feathers here or there. And actually, Christina Gonzalez got some feathers today. She posted her things today that she got from Katie, put a nice little package together for her. So we got the bead and the hook and the vise. I'm going to start off. We'll do this one kind of plain Jane. Yeah, what the heck. So this is going to be the black Silverfly 8/0. Now, usually I'm using the 12/0, and 12/0's fine, and I tie the first few in 12/0, but it took some extra thread wraps. And what's up, William Boswell? It took a second or two to build up the bump. But what I'm going to want to do is start the thread roughly here, because I don't want anything to go in front of that, because between my thread and the bead is where I'm going to wrap the hackle. So as opposed to going ahead and starting right by the bead and wrapping back, this way I don't have to guess as much. And I'm just going to bring the thread back. And if anyone wants me to go over starting the thread, feel free to let me know. And when you break the thread off, sometimes you just get a little tag like that, and you're like, dang, I should just cut it in the first place. No big deal. All right. So like I said, this one's going to be more of the basic. TMCO, yes, as thank you, Gary. You should, Gary, you ought to have like a light like that you send me. Like, look at the thing. Yeah, so TMCO double arm bobbin. And I don't remember who I saw do it first, but the equivalent of small or extra small wire, the 0.3mm is a little bit tougher, but you don't have to use your scissors. You can just break it. Just pop it off and break it. I use my scissors forever, and there's really no reason to. So I'm going to set that right like so. So it's going right basically to the front of that of the thread, and I'm going to keep it right there on top of the hook shank. So just like this. And it's okay if I don't want my thread wraps to overlap so much right now. But you can see I've got that tied in right on the top. And if it's not absolutely perfect, you can straighten up your fingernail because we didn't really crank down on it too much. It doesn't have to be 100% perfect either. Now we're just going to come back with tight wraps. And then we'll have this the thread piece be nice and smooth and even. Look at my favorite. That hook is my favorite TV. It's 6 inches long. My fingers are freaking works. Yeah, on your TV. Had me going for a second. Well, Truman, hopefully it's just your end. All right, so I just went down and back. And now the ball, the rear section of the ant body, really what we want to do is try to have like it be a football shape. And if when I'm doing this, if it comes down a little bit, it's okay. It can go down the hook bend a bit. Point is, you're not trying to get a perfect circle. And for that matter, if it is kind of lumpy or anything, once you get the wire wrapped and everything, this Golf Classic will fill in everything. It'll be just fine. So while I'm wrapping this, Katie, how's everything going over there?
Well, it's interesting to see how this all works. The YouTube thing's working great. The Instagram way that I'm seeing it on my screen is a little sketch. I'm using Samsung Flow, which is basically like a mirroring app. And I'd just say we have a lot going on here on our Wi-Fi here, because that's a lot of like information coming through it at one time. So
and Katie's got all of it up on her screen, trying to right now.
Yeah. How's Misha? Misha is great. She chewed on a big bone for a while, and now she's outside. But she's doing great. She has her vax due in September, and she's going to get fixed when she's 18 months, which will be in November. So she's doing great. Getting big.
You guys want to hear something kind of funny? Of course you do. When we got her, I don't know, it was the last round of shots for her. Maybe it was a 12-month round. I asked the doctor, I said, it's going to sound like a dumb question, but surely, are they vaccinating dogs for COVID? And they're like, yeah, it's got like that round. She just got the COVID vaccine. I'm like, are you serious? I didn't say that. I said something else. Like, are you serious? I'm like, yep. Okay. All right. So you can see we got a little ball made. And because I left that hook shank bare right there, see how it's bare? That's plenty of room for me to wrap my hackle. As I'm wrapping that, my hook shank comes over here, or my bead comes over here, and I kind of lose out on where it's going to be. And I've actually got a little bit of extra room there. So if I wanted to bring this down a little bit, I could. Just a smidge. And you don't have to, the thread can be smooth, really, or flattened out if you want. It's not like the end of the world if it's not. Okay, so we got that done. Now, when you're wrapping this wire, if you use your rotary vise and hold it up at an angle, it's going to look absolutely terrible. Hey, Nan! Come on, Truman, let's hear it.
Hey, Nan.
Let's hear it, Truman. There it is. Michael got it. Michael beat you, Truman. So when you're wrapping like a rounded surface like that, there it is, Truman. Awesome. When you're wrapping a rounded surface like this, if you have the material you're wrapping at like a perfect angle and you turn your vise, it doesn't give you even wraps. And wrapping like this, it's difficult to get it really even. So just do the best you can. Come around and we'll get our wraps in there. You kind of have to change your angle as you go. The smoother your thread is, the thread underbody is, the better it'll wrap. But like I said, it's not the total end of the world if it's not absolutely perfect. Now, so I've got my wraps wrapped there. I'm gonna bring my thread back. I'm gonna put like a little bit of a thread base there. And now I'm gonna bring that up. I'm tying this in at the bottom of the hook shank. And we'll do one to grow on. That's 4 wraps. Flip it over so I can hold my thread tight and helicopter this off. Now the reason as opposed to undoing those wraps, I've said I need a little thread base there, is now that piece of wire where I trapped it in is not trapped up just on bare hook shank. It's trapped between 2 pieces of thread, so that should hold it a little bit better. Oh, Michael got the big. Hey, Michael. All right. So, and Katie's looking at the Instagram comments while I'm putting this resin on here.
Well, there's not many because I've had to start it and stop it a million times. But basically, like, there's like I can't get the comments on the computer for Instagram to work. So
okay.
Maybe you could just turn the Instagram, like the phone, forward facing or something, the camera.
Sure.
And that way you can.
I can at least see the comments.
Yeah.
So my bottle of my Gulf is running a little bit low, but it's okay. Now you see that's a big old blob there. Now I'm going to use my, if you want to flip it around or you feel me to, I'm happy to. Truman, we're going to need for you to, we have to get it like we don't pay very well though, like a little assistant to come and help.
Well, like, because of all this stuff that you have, you're like blocking the light. So
there we go. Okay, so now the quality might not be quite as good, but I can at least see the comments on Instagram. All righty. And if you are on Instagram, Greg, our buddy from Australia, what's up? If you're on Instagram, give us come over on YouTube and check it out because it is quite a bit better. If you have a problem seeing anything, just check her out. So as you can see, still got a little bit too much on there. Any of those little imperfections that I made with the with my thread, that's all getting. That's why I didn't want to use like a super thin, the thin man. So that's looking pretty good, except for that one bump, and we'll let it kind of settle down. And while that's going on, let's grab my light. Helps if the light's charged. All right, so that looks good. I'll hit it with the UV. Everyone close your eyes. Sorry. Thanks, Mike. It's a slow transition, but is that thick, medium? This is their classic. So this is not their old. They have Thin Man, which is what you call it? The like water that become like Loon Flow is a Thin Man. Then they've got classic. That's just regular. It's not medium at all, just kind of regular. But this is the the class. There you go, the Golf Classic. So, because I don't know if I had the light on there the whole time. So I like to do about 10 seconds. So what's up, Greg? Seriously, man, hop on the old tube. But you're probably smoking coffee. You're roasting coffee right now. So you might not be able to. All right.
How's that?
It's perfect. Because I got
great. Now I'm just going to sit over here and do a crossword puzzle since you've got it all.
Oh, honey.
Control.
Oh, honey.
I'm just kidding.
You're such a jokester.
Yeah, but see, they don't understand that I've been watching this Salvation ant already be tied and been involved in this ant for like days now. So this is just like old stuff to me.
Well, guys,
it's like watching a rerun.
What do you think? Should we have Katie's hide next? That'd be fun.
Fun by me.
Fun by you. Let's see. I've had all these hackles organized, but they're pretty much for. Okay. Instead of that, cool, Greg. All right. Let's see. That looks perfect. All right. So to prep this feather, sorry about not being able to see what I was doing there. I've got this hackle feather here, and I'm just going to grab it like so, and pull this down. Just pull. Well, I can. So I've got the stem pulled off there, and make sure. Okay. So I'm just going to hold it at an angle here and wrap it in. So I've got it's got a little bit of bare stem. Might be a touch much, but it'll be okay. Now I'm going to wrap forward, tight wraps, back. Now I'm actually trying to build this up just a touch because I don't want that bead to be moving around. So we got that there. And really about, got you on the stereo, Instagram, YouTube. All right. Great, Michael. Oh, I can't see. Oh, I can. I can actually reach down and thanks for doing this live fly time video. Best medicine for having the. Oh, Josh, that stinks. Well, Josh, come over on the YouTube. Um, so I would say like 3 to 4, or 2 to 3 wraps is usually enough. Maybe 4, but we'll see how this one goes. So here's one straight up and down. Okay. Now we'll come over 2. That's 2. Then we'll go 3. And that's it. So now we'll capture that in. Go and get 3 good wraps in. Now, if you're worried, I'm going to show you another little trick here. If you're worried about, let's switch it over to camera 2. So if you're worried about like getting in here with your scissors, and I'll do that on the next one. Let me just get in here and cut it off. But if you're like, I don't cut my hackle, you can just grab your razor blade, hold your hackle stem tight, and just pop it off. Easy. Easy, easy peasy. And that's a dull razor blade too. And thank you, Michael, for buying a badge on the old Instagram. Yeah. See, Randy wants Katie to tie next. Katie, we've been talking about it, about doing a little switch one of these days. And it's going to happen, right, Katie?
It'll happen.
Can you all hear Katie better than
Can you guys
time?
hear me better? I have a microphone today. It's turned on. Hiya.
Is that really a 22? It looks like a 12. No, this is a size 14. Maybe Truman's talking about Katie's 22.
No, my 22 is a 22.
That's right. Okay, so
And
we'll switch back over to camera
and
1.
That's all I have to say about that.
I'll switch it back over. Okay, so now you can see we got that wrapped. That hackle's about right, maybe a touch long, but that's about right. So here's our first salvation ant. So Gary, how do we do? 22.
What do you think, Gary?
Oh, there's 22 people watching yet. That is right, 122. All right, so let's do a size 16.
Are you looking at your Instagram too?
Me? Yep.
Yeah.
There's a fly I can get behind.
There's a fly that they can get behind. That's right. The cool thing about this is that it looks a lot like a real ant, I think.
All right, so we're going to switch over here. I want to do the size 16 that I've got in this package here. It's the same hook, the XC400 Umpqua. I'm going the same 2.5 millimeter bead.
Is it important to use a jig hook? Says James.
I mean, you don't have to. If you don't have a jig hook, then no. I think Gary says he ties these in size 20 down to either 10 or 12.
14.
14 is as big as he goes?
Yeah, you would actually say he ties it in size 14 down to 20.
14 down to 20. Oh, my bad. So the 14 is as big as he goes. I think the 16 and the 18 is going to be just about the right size for me. But who knows? So here's that size 16. We're going to do the same thing, but this time we're going to use claret. So here's a claret. If I make like the T, it makes it sound even more fancy. So same thing, leave part of that hook shank blank.
So when I was looking at thread colors for this, I looked at claret and cerise, which is like a violet, and a mocha brown, black. What else? Is that about it?
Yeah. Gary, let's hear your is it important to use a jig hook? Let's hear your color suggestions again. I know you told me, but and you can also tell us what I'm totally messed up on this. So same thing, got that tied in on top like so. I'm going to uncord my thread a bit, but once again, not super necessary. Be careful on that cut end of the wire because if you pull real hard, you can fray your thread. Just get a nice little base here. Now I'm going to start building up this bump. Just like so. And you can really be technical with how you do this bump. As long as you can kind of see. And normally I've got this enhancement plate on the other side. And this time I put a piece of paper down, just a piece of white paper on my tying desk. Because seeing these dark colors and when you're trying to make a nice smooth underbody with a black background is very difficult. Just a wee bit. Like I said, you don't have to get it perfect, but what you do sacrifice when it's not absolutely spot on is it's harder to wrap your wire on. So you see I'm going down the hook shank just a touch.
So Gary says red and black cerise, white with dark wire, rusty mahogany yellow with dark rib.
There we go.
So there's lots of different, depending on what you've got, there's lots of different ways you could do it.
So here's our thing. So that's a good, the rusty. And I was thinking about doing yellow, but Gary, I'm thinking I might switch to a different color here. This next one. So this is
that copper?
This is a copper wire, correct?
Is that 1 or 2?
This is 2 millimeter copper wire. So I'll bring this back.
Well, this is the first time I've actually got to watch and talk about the tying like in 3 weeks. This is really nice.
You can actually watch the comments and everything. See, we're getting better.
I can sit here and change the camera views.
She actually like.
I like to see him spin the bobbin when he does it. It's mesmerizing.
Oh yes. Dude, Truman. Don't tell anyone, Truman. But it might be coming out.
Your thread's unraveling.
Oh, it's okay. All right, so we're gonna put this same resin on. You can see I don't have like a real awesome. It's fine, but I don't have like a super awesome thread base. But watch this. It's the magic. I mean, you don't want to like have. I tell you what, of all times from the bottle to I told you it was about out. I guess when it gets to be about out, then the squirter starts coming out, the nozzle. All right, so I'm going to look at it. I'm going to drag this across, which kind of pulls that resin down. What if it was on this side?
Have I posted the pictures that I took yet?
Yes, honey, I posted them today.
Okay, well.
Because they were gorgeous.
If you guys want to see some up close pics, they've been posted.
There we go. Now let's get this dragged down a little bit this way. This is probably the most time consuming part. But you can spend as much or as little time as you want to on this step. The key thing is when you're done messing with it, give it a second to kind of even back out to where it's the way you like it.
Oh, Truman, thank you. So awesome.
All right, so that looks pretty darn good.
I try.
Oh, sorry, UV light. Everyone close your eyes. The cerise, I don't think I've got cerise. Katie said cerise, but
we don't have cerise, but we have violet. It's pretty close. It's like a.
I don't see like how I don't have cerise.
Purplish magenta.
I was like, when he said cerise, maybe he meant claret.
No, cerise is more like a violet, I think.
I mean, I've got a couple. Let's do one on a normal hook, but tonight.
Parasol style.
Yeah. Cool.
Ooh.
Well, hola from Chile. And sorry if I have been ignoring you on Instagram. Just kidding. Cameron's on point on that beautiful Appalachian Furrow Leaders. Come look at YouTube. Sorry. And let me just say it real quick. Everyone on Instagram, I apologize for not replying to you. It's my responsibility right now to be keeping up with the comments on there. But as you can probably already tell, I'm not doing a very good job at it. But we're also on Instagram or on YouTube, and that is where the fun is happening. So check that out over there. All right, so I've got another another hackle here. And went over earlier the different hackles we're going to use. So that one looks about the right length.
What color is that?
I do not know. This one might be
Random dark brown.
Yeah, random dark brown. A lot of these, if you
That's not an official.
if you want to switch over, so a lot of these came off of. Let's go to this one. Like just variant capes. They're not brown. They're not furnace. They're not Cree. They just have a little bit of everything in them. And these are ones that a lot of people just don't want because these really dark feathers here. I'd say it's more of a Cochin brown, but when you really get in there and look at them, they're gorgeous feathers. They're absolutely gorgeous. Yes, a few in olive.
That'd be fun.
It's an olive. Wine color. That's what I told Katie. It's kind of like a wine color, but this kind of claret looks kind of like a wine color.
Maybe. Kind of. I just thought it had more pink in it.
You thought it was more like Pinot? That Pinot stuff?
Yeah, more like Franzia.
Franzia. All right.
No, Franzia.
So we've got our hackle feather here. Stem on this one's quite a bit narrower. We are tying the shiny side forward. So I'm going to get my thread back to where I want to tie it in, which is roughly there. And you notice that's not very long. Here's my cutter for my on my whip finisher, and my hackle stem is shorter than that. So you don't have to have a super
man cake.
Secret fly, golly. You don't have to have a super long stem. So hold an
or
angle.
Superman cape.
Or Superman cape. Yes, ma'am. All right, we got that tied in. If you want to go back and forth, you can.
Leave it like that.
But we don't need to. What's up, Bill? Bill Brashear is in the Instagram house. Once again.
Great minds, Chris. Great minds. What would that look like with micro glint? Says Truman.
I don't know, but it sounds like you.
Sounds like Truman's getting
sounds
ready
like
to.
Truman's
He's going to show us.
Getting ready to get Truman with it.
That's right. About to
Gonna
find
get
out.
Crazy. All right. So, clip this off.
I can't watch.
There we go.
Close enough.
Got that? Yeah. Trust me. Once I
without the magnifying glass or the glass. You got your glasses on though, don't you?
Honey, yes, but I think we've had this conversation on the glasses. I think someone's going to have to go get new glasses.
He keeps saying, "I think I need glasses," and I'm like,
"It's going."
Still agree with you.
It's going quick.
Still agree with you.
All right. So now we'll get our little whip finisher. So what were we talking about? Oh yeah, we're talking about wine and that the Pinot.
Cerise. Pinot is not red, is it? Yeah, it is.
Pinot Grigio.
Pinot Grigio is not red. It's like.
All right. So there's that one. Now let's do a fun one. I was thinking about doing. Gary did say that yellow and a darker color go well together, but I'm right there with Truman. Like if I want to go crazy, I want to go really wild.
Love the cup.
So just for the fun of it, we're gonna go back to 3mm because I don't have this size bead in this color. So I'm going to do the same thing. Where is it? Oh, it's over here. Oh, there we go. So XC400 size 14. Although 14, I'm liking what Gary is saying. 14 is going to be a little bit big, but it'll work fine. 16 and 18 is going to go to. So it's going to be fun. So guys, this week we'd love to see your Gary Barnes Salvation ant. Sorry. Thank you, Katie.
John was like, "It's called the Salvation ant." He was like, "It's not salvation like your last chance or your last hope." I was like, "Oh, okay." I was like, "Well, what salvation is it then?"
I said it wasn't like Salvation like the army, and then you were like, well, that's it.
I was like, that's what the salvation. That's what it is. I was like, that's what it means. Ooh, I love that purple bead. That's really nice.
Maybe I should have searched for a video of Gary tying this.
There is one. Mike Raxton.
I know, that's what I'm saying. Like with micro blend, only for the Demuth crowd have done that with micro as well.
I really love that purple bead.
Assume that with the bead it'll sink even with that. Yeah,
Chris, that's what I was gonna say. I was like, it's like a grape.
Yeah, absolutely. This is Joel. This thing will sink absolutely no problem. And that's why really for this fly, I think even for a size 14, a size 2.5 millimeter bead would be fine.
You forgot to give me one that was like that to take a picture of.
That's because I haven't done one yet.
Oh.
We're getting crazy tonight.
That's very crazy.
Yeah, let's go back just a little bit more. Give it just a touch. I mean, dry fly hackle. I mean, what's it mean? Can you use dry fly hackle on a wet fly? Absolutely. There we go.
It'll go down.
And I'm gonna go silver. Oh, there we go. Silver.
Bright silver.
Bright. It's bright silver.
Bright.
Christmas done bright. All right. One more thing. I guarantee someone on here does it just like I did a few years ago. If you'll grab your, let's go to, yeah. If you grab your wire and just pull it off the spool, still attached, and use your thumbnail and just pull the wire through your thumbnail, that'll get rid of any kinks or anything in the end of it, like where you're tying it down or clipping it off here. That'll make it really smooth. Really, the only disadvantage is sometimes it gets kind of spinning like that, so just go the other way. And they'll kind of somewhat unwrap it. But when you're ready to use it, just grab it, break it off, and you're ready to go. And I will stick it back in here. And that's ready for next time. All right. So we're going to do the same thing. Set it right there, right on top. So Gary, since I didn't see the video, am I tying it right? Or is it too late? He went, no, dude, you're all jacked up.
Like it's backwards and upside down and everything.
Come over on Gary Barnes YouTube.
You forgot the legs.
Forgot the legs again.
The legs, the wings, and everything. Totally messed up.
All right, so now we're going to build this up real good. Let's see what I'm missing. I want to see that in a fish's mouth. Yes, me too. But Gary, I'm sure you do. Dry fly works amazing. Bargain bin. Guess you scored.
We found some cool stuff in the bargain bin before too.
Yeah, here's my bargain bin. I was thinking about getting really crazy, and this is my bargain bin fly right here. It's like I have no idea what size they are. Some of them are disco, some are whatever, but they're cool. You know who these came from, don't you, Katie? Remember?
Mahoney's?
No. It was a person.
The guy out at the up on the hill.
Mm-hmm.
That place.
No, it was when we were visiting with Justin Aldrich about 5 years ago.
Oh, really?
He gave me those beads.
Oh man, that's awesome.
Sure was. So,
I'm like the guy up on the hill in the house. That one guy down that street.
Yeah.
Those are real people, by the way.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. It's that one guy. All right, so we're just kind of building this up. As you can see, this 8/0 thread, it builds somewhat quick, but the 12/0 takes a little while. I'm gonna go down right here. Make sure that you're good and tight. Maybe not that much. Make sure they're good and tight.
Me too, Truman. Me too. I'm missing Justin's stuff.
I think I'm seeing Justin. He's a good dude. All right, so that's looking pretty good there. See, like on a lot of flies, see this little teeny tiny, make this knot. See this little teeny tiny bump here? Oh, Justin, yeah, he was. He sure was. Hey, what's up, Mr. Heiss? Pew pew. Shots fired. So you can see our bump. I'm not too worried about that at all. Not one little bit. So now we'll wrap this around. Kind of same thing. Like I said, because you're going up a slope and then down a slope, it is pretty difficult to get these wraps absolutely perfect, and you definitely can't do it by, see, that one's a little bit bigger. You cannot do it using a rotary vise, which I can. You're probably a lot better at it than me, so maybe you can. Probably. But another thing is when, since it's not flat, it really just depends on how you look at it as well. And I don't think the I don't think the fish are really going to care too much either. Okay. So now we'll globber back up. And for those of y'all just hopping on Instagram, once again, check us out on YouTube. This is we're live on there right now, and it makes it we have 3 cameras. Next week we'll probably have 4. So Katie can actually like officially wave, and we got 3 cameras, and they're a heck of a lot better than one cell phone. So
pretty good. Pretty good times.
Now I'm going to concentrate here and not mess this up, because this is the important part. How are we doing on time?
It's 9:51.
Oh, 9:51. And because of our little glitch, we started 10 minutes late. But, okay. So let me get that bottom little part cleaned up a bit. Well, I don't like how I cleaned that up. No, the camera anyway. It's good here. There we go. Looks nice. And I always keep a just a towel sitting around so I can just use my bodkin, slide it out, and clean it off before I hit anything with the light. I'll hit that. Boy, Truman, that bead's glowing. This one came from Fly Tire Source. They're like $12 100. I did not realize until just now it's like a UV purple. It's glowing more than anything. Because you see how the light's actually shining directly on the body, and it's not popping much. The light is. All right, so we'll swing it around here a little bit. All righty. So guys, while this is done curing, and I'm grabbing a hackle, we'd love to see your all's work on what you tie up. I know Gary would as well. So if there's a, let's see if this is going to work. So if you'll use #WorkbenchWednesday on your posts on Instagram, we will we'll share them out to everyone. And we do occasionally, we will not occasionally, more times than not, we give stuff away. We just randomly draw a winner. So from the people who did their posts, I'm tying a Flora thread body and see how it works. So we've yep, that probably when you said yellow, I was like, I might do that with the yellow thread body. So you can see I've got just a little teeny tiny bit there captured in. Point is, with the colors, like, your creativity is the limit. Do whatever colors you want.
I really like the purple a lot.
I'm going to put those a little bit tighter together and might try to cram one more in there. Nope. There we go. And this is like full blown hackle. There we go. That was good. So what was that? 3 wraps or 4 wraps? I'm still not going to be able to cut it off. If I bring the hackle stem up to the top here, get my finger out of the way. If I bring that hackle stem to the top to tie it off, that last wrap is going to push back into all these, which isn't that big a deal, but doesn't look as good. this is going to fluff out nicely and be really good. This is not going to be super thick. I like, for fishing purposes anyway, this hackle is coming off right here. I mean, I'm not spending much time trimming this or anything, do anything fancy with it. Just wrap it on here. Get in there as somewhat close as you can. That's out of there. Pull my thread tight and just kind of flick it, and that'll get rid of any of the chunks there. And then we'll have our whip finish. So, trying to think, we've got some giveaway stuff, but we're trying to come up with, when we hit 100 subscribers, we'll give away some goodies. And then maybe we'll do a big one when we get a bunch more than that. So there's our purple one. How'd that one? Oh, let me flip this back around. That one turned out nice. And I can probably do this too. Maybe. No. So that was our purple Salvation Ant. So guys, with that said, I think that'll be it for the night.